The funeral of Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I, one of the most iconic figures in British history, left behind a legacy that has intrigued and inspired generations. Her passing marked the end of an era, and her funeral was a spectacle that drew masses of all walks of life, reflecting her impact on her subjects and the wider world. On the 28th of April, a little over a month after her death, Elizabeth I's final journey through the streets of London to Westminster Abbey was not just a procession, but a vivid tableau of the era she dominated. The events of that day and the subsequent handling of her resting place weave a fascinating narrative about royalty, remembrance, and the respect accorded to one of England's most formidable rulers. Elizabeth I's funeral took place on the 28th of April, a little over a month after she died. Her body was carried through King Street, now called Whitehall, in a large parade all the way through to Westminster Abbey, where she was buried. Hundreds of people joined the procession, ranging from ordinary men and women to trumpeters, Elizabeth's household staff, knights and nobles. The Lady Marquis of Northampton led the procession as the chief mourner. Westminster was packed with people everywhere, on the streets, in houses, and even on rooftops. Everyone came to watch the funeral, and there was a lot of crying and sadness, unlike anything people had seen before. One of the interesting things about the funeral was the drawings that showed what the procession looked like. There was a model of the Queen, dressed in her official robes, complete with a crown and sceptre, resting on her coffin. The coffin was draped in purple velvet and pulled by 4 black-dressed horses. Above the coffin, a canopy was held up, and noblemen carried 12 banners around it, representing the symbols of the House of York, but not those of the House of Lancaster. Elizabeth I died and was buried with much ceremony. Her funeral service was led by Dean Andrews, and she was initially laid to rest in a vault with her grandparents, Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, at Henry VII's chapel. But in 1607 her remains were moved to be with her half-sister Mary, marking the unusual case of a Protestant princess buried next to her Catholic sister. This move cost 46 shillings and 4 pence, according to Westminster Abbey's records. Elizabeth's successor, King James I, spent quite a lot, about £1,485, more than a nobleman's yearly income, on a white marble monument for her. Interestingly, this monument was smaller than the one he later made for his own mother, Mary, Queen of Scots. Originally, the statue on Elizabeth's monument was painted in vibrant colours, and even the lions at its corners were gilded, though no colour remains today. There's more to discover about Elizabeth's resting place thanks to Arthur Stanley from the 1880s. He was allowed by Queen Victoria to examine all the tombs in the Abbey, a place usually closed to the public. Stanley's exploration revealed insights into the hidden crypts, including the one of the Tudor tombs. In his search, Stanley found a narrow vault with 2 coffins stacked, one on top of the other. He described Elizabeth's coffin in detail. It was well preserved, decorated with a Tudor rose, her initials ER, and the year 1603. The coffin was crafted from oak and elm, and parts of its red silk velvet covering still clung to the wood. This find is a unique glimpse into the final resting place of Elizabeth I, lying directly above her sister Mary. It's a remarkable story that sheds light on the hidden history beneath Westminster Abbey. Thanks to the efforts of Queen Victoria and Mr. Stanley, this adventure into the past is just the beginning, as there are more secrets to uncover about the royal burials in future explorations. The grandeur and solemnity of Queen Elizabeth I's funeral procession, her burial, and the subsequent discovery of her final resting place offer a window into the rituals and reverence of royal funerals. The touching story of her reburial alongside her half-sister Mary I and the creation of a monument in her memory highlights the complex relationships and political dynamics of the Tudor period. Thanks to historical accounts and the diligent work of historians, we gain a deeper understanding of the significance of these events. These explorations into the past not only honour Queen Elizabeth I's memory, but also enrich our understanding of the cultural and historical context of her reign. As we continue to uncover details about the royal burials at Westminster Abbey, each discovery adds a new layer to the rich tapestry of British history.